Okay, now we've started. So, once again, welcome. First off, I wanted to thank you all for being here and for giving me the opportunity to speak and share what I know and what worked for me this year and what I'm going to do next year. So, I've noticed with my experience that earning high paying client, working high paying client and earning well, there's a pattern to it. There's no particular guideline, but there is a pattern to working with these things, and that's what I'll be sharing today. So I'll do a bit of speaking for about 20-30 minutes before I start taking questions because the main thing is to understand if there's any struggle you're going through or if there's anything you want to know better and answer that because this session is to help you and not me, is to help you. So I'd receive more responses and answer them than talking a lot more. So first, let's get started. I have a slide to share, but I've been contemplating if it's actually important or not. But let me just share it and say, mm. Okay, so can anyone please tell me or just react if you can see my screen? Thank you, DJ. Thank you. Okay, so as I said earlier, welcome. This is helping you earn and scale in 2026 because it's one thing and it's another thing to scale fast. So I started earning this year, earning okay, but then I learned some things and I scaled and I said, okay, this thing actually worked. And now I'm doing it again. So for 2026, I want to scale more. So first, my aim for the year, if you follow me on X, you'd see that I post a lot of stuff about my whole journey. So my aim for the year at the beginning was 5K to earn $5,000 at the beginning of the year. But then I earned over 30K. And now it took me about 12 months or less to earn 30K. And now I said, okay, I want to earn 30K again by March because I've noticed the pattern. I've noticed the things that work and said, okay, let me repeat that same thing and earn 30K by March. So since there's a call about earning and scaling, I'll be mentioning a lot of numbers, a lot of figures. And if you're someone that's not comfortable with hearing figures, you should get comfortable with it because that's one of the first things you need to know about earning big. So let's get started. Okay. So introduction, if you don't know me, which is very possible, if you don't know me yet, I am Rachel James. I'm a product designer. I work with a company, Passage, in Canada as the general designer, and I'm also a freelancer and now a founder. But I don't know if I should call myself a founder, if I'm being honest, because I just started the company and I have co-founders, excellent co-founders as well. But since we've not really done so much, I should call myself a co-founder or not. But I run a company now, a studio, and I am a freelancer and a product designer. And my story is long, but let me try and make it short. I heard about Contra because I'm very particular about Contra. So I heard about Contra from Dan Petty on X, a well-known designer. He talked about it. He made an advertisement about it, an ad about it, and I saw it on his page. The last horrible for me. Last year was horrible for me. The whole of last year, I earned about 200K, if it's up to thereabout 200K or less. And then I figured out that I don't want my life to go that way because that's not life. I was schooling, but I had to drop out because I couldn't pay my tuition fee. I couldn't do a lot of things. So that's when I decided that okay, I have to do something about my life. So the first thing is actually decision. You just have to decide that you don't want to remain the same again. And that's where everything starts. That's where everything changes. So I saw Contra and I said, okay, what's Contra about? And what was Contra going to do for me? So I basically studied Contra and found out that it's a freelance platform and this is where people can earn. Long story short, I signed up, started working on my profile, and I found out that I have to pay to be able to apply to jobs. I didn't have the money to pay, which was $29. I didn't have that. So I almost gave up, but I said, okay, let me just set up my profile. At least setting up my profile is free. So I started setting my profile, and then thank God that contract team reached out to me. I said, oh, they like what I'm doing, the access to their platform. And I was like, what? So from getting free access, I started applying to jobs. And within the first week, I got a job, and that is where everything changed. And then I started publicizing Contra all over. I started talking about Contra to a lot of people, tend to sign up, earn, because there's so much potential for us on the platform. And that's how I went about everything. And I earned on Contra. I met new people because we're talking about Contra, interesting people, and that's how everything went till now. So please, enough about me. Let's get to you. So first thing is more like an icebreaker. I like telling people facts, the truth, some things that you don't want to realize. But as I said, a harsh truth is some of you know what to do. You're just waiting for a simpler way to go about it. Because I've told countless people whenever I have meetings with them, this thing I'm telling you is nothing new under the sun. It's not like you've never heard it before. But your problem is in doing it. We hear a lot of information, we hear stuff, we always ask people for advice, for tips to be better. And some of them are willing to give us these things. But the thing is doing, that's where a lot of people fall out. Because the difference between me and someone else, or difference between someone else and another person is one person what they were told, and the other felt now they can't really do this. So that's the difference. So yeah, let's move on. So let's tackle the first problem because I went through the submissions and I found out okay that there's a problem with a higher priority than the other. So tackling the first problem is getting clients. How I go about mine, then I'll say how you go about yours. For me, how I go about mine is I pick two platforms. That's Contra and X. And then I search for founders or my type of clients on those platforms. So for Contra, for example, when I started applying, I didn't apply to every single job that had designer on the title. No, I was very specific. I went through the job role, the objectives, basically everything that they've placed in there for the application. I wanted to be interested. I went for jobs or job descriptions that interested me first because I had to like the job to do well. So I said, no, I have specific kind of founders that I want to work with, people that work in this niche, in this business. I knew my type of clients and I was like, yeah, those are the people I want to work with. And then when I found them on this platform, I studied the clients. Now, I had a meeting with someone last week, like, if the job is urgent, how does he study the client? And when I say study, I don't mean take a whole month or a whole week. You can study the client in an hour. So that's what I do personally that works for me. Once I get the clients that I want to work with, I study them. When I say study them, I research about them, research about their company, read their about page, want to know the messaging, the language that they use. Basically, just make research on the person themselves and on the company because I'm going to be working with an actual person, so I need to know you. So that's the thing I search for. And when I then make research on their company, one thing I naturally like to do is if it's a website redesign, I give an audit. If it's not a website redesign, I go through the client themselves and look for they recently had an achievement as a person or as a company, and I'll tell them about that. I would mention that in my application. So then I'll send a message for a gap that I can fill. Because if it's a redesign, if I find a problem, then I pinpoint that problem to that client. And if it's not a problem, I tell them, okay, congratulations on this. I recently found out you got this, if it's funding or you got married. So the person will know that, okay, this person basically studied me. This person knows something. This person has looked through my profile, looked through my page, and gotten information about me. And then when I send that application, I practically personalize each application to the client. I said first, I studied them as a person, then studied the company. So I personalize. I want to ask me, do I have a template? I'm like, I don't have a template. I don't have that. I just work with the kind of person that I'm pitching to. There's a pattern to it. That's first, I try to get a name. I don't just send an application message or send a codium and say hello. I get their names. And then I'll make sure I find out something about them that they've posted recently and mention that too in my message. So they know, okay, this person has taken out time to know this thing about me. So that's how I do. So it's either they accept my offer or they don't. If they accept it, we move on to closing the deal. If they don't, I move to the next person. I don't take rejections personally now. because there are different factors that contributes to why a client may not be ready to work with you. So I don't take it personally. So that is, I go to pretty simple. That's my go-to. Now, how you go about yours? So first, when I was getting these responses, the highest percentage I said was on getting clients, and I know that some people would think I'm bringing a new platform, telling them, okay, sign up to this platform, as I said about contract. But no, the truth is the platforms are working. The thing may be that you don't have confidence in that platform working for you. Because I've had a lot of time people be like, oh, they tried, they did this, they did that. And I'm like, yeah. So it differs for people, and we all know that very well, how it differs for people. That some people may take them a few weeks to get a client from a platform, some a few months, and not everyone have that patience, which is why I tell people you have to build resilience. Because I was listening to a pastor of mine, someone I really admire, respect, and he said, ruthless people have money. That is why criminals have them. People like drug dealers have a lot of money because they're very ruthless about what they want. So I would ask people, are you ruthless about getting this thing? How bad do you want this thing? Because you can't tell me you want something bad and you try for a month, it didn't work, and then you give up. I'm like, I don't think you want it so bad. Because how bad I wanted it, it took me a while, a long while. And I got there. Since when I got there, remember, things were still not balanced, but then I made sure to stay on track, and then it started working out this year very well. So the thing is, LinkedIn is working, Instagram is working, X is working, Contract is working, Upwork is working, communities are working. If that, for instance, no one is getting any clients from these platforms, then I'll be like, okay, these platforms are not working. But we do see people that post and tell us that they got clients from this platform. So that means it's working. You just have to find out how it works for you. So the problem is not the platform itself, because I've seen a few posts on it people are blaming the platform, and I'm like, nah, it's definitely not the platform. It's your positioning on the platform first, your clarity on who you serve, your consistency in showing up, how you present yourself, and what your profile communicates, how you reach out, and the systems you use when you're on that platform. Those are the things that contribute to you being a success on this platform. So now, first thing first, I would advise is pick any platform or platforms. The thing is, I have noticed some people like to sign up to a lot of platforms, a lot of freelance platform at once. And I'm like, they think, of course, spreading their eggs in a little basket will work out, but not every time in this scenario, not every time. Because I've tried it and I burnt out. So that's when I started again. I was clear on what not to do. So when I started, as I said earlier, my platforms were Contra and X. That was what I was working with. And those two platforms brought me clients, and they are still bringing me clients. But now I've decided to branch out. So that's how it is. You start with picking the platforms that you want to work with, and you decide that this platform will work for you before you start thinking of branching out. But it's a later thing. You will scale definitely. So that's when you think of branching. Me, for example, working with X and Contra, I've seen, okay, I've studied this platform to a point where I know they're working for me now. The next thing to do is scale, because I've seen a lot of complaints of some freelance platform. And I'm like, let me try this and get results from it. Then I'll come back and say, okay, guys, this thing works. It's just you, and let's fix it. So that's how it works. So now, after deciding your platforms, you search for your type of client. Not every client is your client. That's the truth. Not every client is your client. If there's a number saying like 10, all 10 don't have to be your clients. If you're someone that likes the different niche, like you can't decide on, because I'm a designer that is not very fixed on one particular style working with clients. I can work with SaaS founders, I can work with small business, I can work with creators, like UGC creators. So I don't have a fixed client base, but I do know my type of clients, not everyone. There are some clients that I'm like, okay, no, I'm not working with these people. They are not my people. So you have to decide your client. And then look through the comments of big creators in your niche, because big creators have reach already. They have visibility already. There are some designers in our field, their comment section, because they talk about solving some problems. And then you can see potential clients in their comment talking about, oh, they recently launched this business also, and they've been having this challenge. They can talk, especially creators that talks about fixing problems. That's why Instagram is a very good space. Instagram is a platform I'm branching into next year because I started with Instagram, but then I left Instagram to X. So I said, okay, it's time to go back to Instagram. So 2026, Instagram is in my 2026 plan because I have seen that a lot of potential clients are in the comment section of some of your favorite creators. I'm talking about design, for example. Outside design, to be honest, I know nothing about social media outside design. But design, yeah, I'm sure about that. I've seen it. I've seen when clients comment under some creators talking about a problem that they're facing. Usually those creators that talk about fixing problems, about principles, design thinking. You see clients under those kind of places. And then look through the follow brands, tools, and platforms. For X, a very good one that I know is YC. As well known as it is, I think a lot of people don't use it well enough. Because YC almost every week releases new companies or exposes new founders to the community. You almost every time see a founder launching a business, or they're just getting this, or they're just getting that. Sometimes you even see when they post about a company that just received funding. And sometimes those companies that just receive funding don't have a website, or they don't have a website that can massively convert. They don't have a product that can massively convert. So those are the things to look out for. Another good platform that I know is Kickstarter. I think Kickstarter is very underrated. And I think why it's not loud enough is because you have to be the kind of product designers that work on actual products. Now, not just digital products, you work with physical products. Because one thing I've noticed with founders on Kickstarter is those are founders that have physical products, not digital products. So you have to be a designer or product designer that has an interest in physical product design, or someone that already has an experience in physical product design to work with them. But if you have that experience, those are high paying clients, because you see companies that have gotten a whole lot of money for funding and they're ready to spend it on a website that actually give them results. So those are the things to consider. And now search through hashtags. You can do this for X. You can do this for Instagram. This for LinkedIn. You can do this. Just type in hashtags on your search bar for what you're looking for. Maybe hashtag website design, hashtag looking for a designer, hashtag hiring. You see jobs pop up in between when you go through posts. Yes, you may see posting about their projects, yes, but in between, depends on the specific hashtag you're looking, like probably looking for a designer or hiring. Those kind of hashtag you see job post under. Now, when you find these potential clients, you reach out to them. And there's a way to reach out. I've seen some people's DM, like when they reach out to clients, because I do talk to them, but I'm like, okay, they'll tell me, oh, they pitch. And I'm like, okay, show me your pitch. And then you see them. Please, we have to think like business owners or designers first, because if you want to make a lot of money, and I'm not talking about 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, no. I'm talking about from 10K. If you want to deal with this kind of clients, there's a way to package yourself in quote. You have to think like a business owner. You don't just come to them and be very, very casual, because I've seen some pictures where someone is telling the potential client, hey bro, who is your bro? I'm sorry, because I've seen that and I'm like, nah, like I've seen that thing because it's very funny. I remember the first time I thought I burst out laughing because I'm like, you can't be serious. I was like, do you actually say this? Because who's your bro? He's not your bro. Like, why? Or they'll be like, hey, chief, people need to learn mannerism in work. It's very important, because I think the label Gen Z has allowed people to be too casual with their work and the language they use at work. And I personally, I don't accept it. At the studio that I run, my co-founders, we strictly don't accept that. Don't be too casual. Outside work, we are friends. And we can use all the casual language once it's slangs, but in work, Nah, we're all serious people, please. We can have fun, but it's just the language used should be very mindful. You can't work with an organization that is ready to pay you 200K and you're coming to them without proper corporate etiquette. I know we're freelancers and I talk about it, but even as freelancers, there's a level of corporate etiquette you have to have at work. Usually with the kind of clients that you want to work with, if it's big budget clients, there's a level you have to have. So those are the things to consider. So how you pitch is very important. I won't go deep into pitching because of time, but I'll say this at the end. I have a mentorship class that I've posted online. I didn't share much details about it because I wanted it to be after this call, after this session, before I talk more about it. But in that mentorship class, I'm going to be having calls with some of your one-on-one weekly, and then in the same week, we'll be having group calls to address everyone's day or week, how they're going. But the one-on-one will be very personified to each person, from how you want to pitch, how you want to send messages, how you want to get response. I'll be going through that because I told people that I want to make sure they earn a minimum of 1K or 3K when they're done with me. There's a lot of money to be earned, to be honest. There's a lot of money to earn. There's a lot of money. You can never earn all the money from clients. There's a lot, so it's around for every one of us. So back to where I was. I'll talk about the mentoring session later. Back to where I was. Once you find your potential clients, as I said, there's a way to reach out. There's a way to go about messaging them. That's why I see experts that share how they share their pitch. There's a pattern. It may not be the exact same way. Some people share templates online and it's really nice of them. Thank God for them. There's still a pattern on how to personalize your own messages. So yeah, that's something to talk about in depth in that mentorship. So when they accept your client, you either sign the contract, and if they don't, you move to the next person. Okay, so there's a question. I will take you an A later, but let me just take this. Please, should my portfolio be ready before I join the men? No, it doesn't have to be ready. I can tell you or share tips on how to structure your portfolio. If your portfolio isn't ready, it's ready. Wonderful. If it's not, we can go to that. So yes, back to where I was. So I explained this already, how to reach out to clients or potential clients the right way. So this is my own way of doing things. This is my own personal way of doing things. I try not to sound desperate. Because in fact, don't be desperate, please. When applying to jobs or reaching out, I always tell people, please don't be desperate. I saw a post online and I think that's like really good. Someone said before he goes into a sales call, he always eats first. Because when you're hungry, sometimes you may say rubbish. When you're hungry, sometimes you'll not be thinking your right senses. Personally, when I'm hungry, nah, I don't think I think straight. I don't think I think straight at all. So I make sure to always eat well. So it's not like I'm begging you. I'm just talking to you about discussing. So that's one thing to note. So first is research for 60 seconds. This 60 seconds, what I mean is basically type in your laptop the name of the company, because there's something about the way we humans act. Procrastination, I tell my sisters, because we basically go through training every week. I go through training with them every week because I'm not joking with them. I tell them, procrastination is very far from me because they ask me, how do I deal with it? I'm like, because I don't think about doing the stuff. I just do it. There's something about we humans, when we take action, then everything follows. It goes through. So the research for 60 seconds, typing in your laptop the name of the company. From there, you'd see something, and then you start scrolling, learning, go to their homepage, their about page, you see the founder's name, check the founder's LinkedIn, continuation. That's how you keep on going. And then have a personalized first line. By that, I mean first get the name. If it's the founder or the co-founder or the CTO, somebody, get a name. And then tell them something that they've done or an achievement that they've gotten, as I said. So this person can know, oh, this person actually went through my profile, or oh, this person knows a bit about me. It has to be personalized to the person. And then give one piece of value immediately. Like, don't waste time. I don't understand when some people send, I see some DMs, some people say, man, they're like, hey, and they're not typing what they need from me. They just drop hey, expecting me to respond before they continue. Not everyone has that time. I respond, I do respond. So they'll be like, hello, how can I help you? And they'll talk. But sincerely, not everyone has that time to respond. And now that I've started my studio, my co-founders, I'm seeing how every time, every part of my time, every minute of my time is very, very important. So please go straight into value, go straight into what you want with this person. For me, I always tell them what I found out about their company, or if it's a redesign, as I say, because I think most of the times I always get redesign projects. I think if I'm saying based on percentage, out of 100%, my redesign project would probably be 60. I think because of how deep I go into UX. I want to understand why there are things like that. What's it functioning as? What's the result? Why are we using this color? Why are we placing the button there? There has to be a reason. But overall, we should look nice. I mean, we're designers, yes. But that's the thing. So I always tell them, okay, I've gone through your product, I've gone through your website, this is what I like, or it's your app, I've gone through your app, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. One of my most high paying projects, I won't say the amount, but for an app redesign, was that he came to me, apparently reached out on Instagram, and he was like, oh, I've got this app that I need it to be redesigned, and this, that, and I'm like, okay, let me take a look at your app. Send me the link, and I downloaded it from App Store, and so I was like, okay, some things were nice, but some things were obviously missing. And then I pointed it out to him immediately that this thing is causing problems, it's causing a friction. And then he was like, oh, tell me more. And that's how we went into it. And then on the spot, he was like, okay, send me an invoice, let's get started. And then he told me that he had other designers too. I wasn't the only person to reach out to. And I was like, really? I thought I was the only one. So I was just even calm about the whole situation because I thought I was the only one, not knowing that he reached out to other people as well. And then from there, I started working on the project. And that project, at the end of it, generated money for the business. So how much the project generated, I was like, I really did that. And I became more confident in my results. And then I'm like, yeah, I can charge higher because I actually brought money to that business. But it's not only designing that did that, marketing also played a part. But for the marketing to bring in the users and for the users to stay, design did that role. So that's one thing. And then make a simple offer. So once I tell them, okay, this is what's wrong with it, what's wrong with your app or something. And then I tell them, this is how we can fix it. An offer for me is like a UX audit. Sometimes I give a free UX audit, a mini UX audit. I say, okay, I'll do this for your site, basically tell you this is the problem, this is the solution. And if we want to work together, this is what it costs. I always give clients value. So if I spot like three problems on their site, I would give a solution for one out of the three. I'd give you one to, in case you don't trust me, test this out and see. So I'll give them one, and then I'll tell them we can jump on a call to discuss the remaining two, and this is what I'll do working with you. And that's how most of the time I always do it. If they don't respond immediately, I follow up because sometimes clients are busy people, especially the CEOs or founders, they are really busy. I've had a client where I followed up, I think about 4 or 5 times because I really wanted to work on that project. Like I really wanted to. I followed up, followed up, followed up. And since when I reached out to the client to when I worked on the project, it was about 4 months. 4 months passed before he was like, Rachel, hi, I'm ready for the project now. And I'm like, yeah, you have to be ready. I'm no time. So that's how to do it. And following up, there's a way to do that. You don't sound desperate. Not that you'll be sending a follow-up message every day. Please, no. There's a way to go about it. You can give intervals. For example, let me show one that I did for a recent project I'm still working on. So I basically sent a follow-up message today. Then I didn't send any. So if today is Monday, for example, I sent another Wednesday. And then after Wednesday, I sent a detailed message on the follow-up Wednesday. That is what we should do. I didn't send any for that week again till next week, like Tuesday. And then I said, okay, this is what I'm thinking. Based on what we discussed the last time, this is what I've started. But let me know if you are ready to start this project now or not. And then we can push it to when you're ready. And most of the time, that will get a response. So no pressure, really, about it. Okay, I need to check if the session is recording. Yes, it is. If not, okay, let's move on. Next, marketing and positioning. Very important, really. Because it's one thing to know what you're doing, it's another thing to let people know that you know what you're doing. So let's see. Okay, marketing is mostly clarity. Let's see. I think I had a note about that. Yes, marketing is mostly clarity. I just ask questions. I'm like, how many of you have ever run ads or promoted or boost your post? Like, have you ever thought about? You might have thought about it, but how many of you have gone ahead to do that? As I said earlier, as designers, especially next year, we should think like business owners because you're actually running a business. Even if it's just you, it's your business. You're self-employed, so you should think of it that way and think. Sometimes we have to spend money to get money. I was telling my co-founder, I said, okay, we we three of us have gotten to the point where we've earned 10K. That's fine. Now we want to move to like 20K, 30K, 50K. I mean, now we have to spend money to get the kind of money we want to get. And now, how are we spending money? We started saying, okay, are we going for ads? Are we going to hire these people, this certain amount of people to do this, to help us scale, to do this? This is all we're discussing. So we knew that, okay, we have to spend a certain amount of money to earn a certain amount of money. And now, if you say, okay, you've not gotten to the point of spending so much money on there are simple ads to run. I think TikTok ads works pretty well and it's very affordable. I've tried it. It's very, the thing about me is that I like to experiment about stuff where I talk about them. So I'm not just like, I know what I'm talking about. So I've tried it and I'm seeing, okay, it works. I've tried Instagram ads too as well. I got inquiries. I'm like, okay. So I'm the one deciding because sometimes I get inquiries and I'm like, nah, I don't want to work on this. Your budget may be too low, or maybe the project I'm working on, I'm like, no, it's not my type of client. As I said, have a type of client. I have my type of client. So those are the things I consider. Just think about running ads. Sometimes you just have to sacrifice that bit and see what works. And even if you don't get clients from running ads the first time, you've gotten visibility in a way. You've more people have seen your post. So you've become familiar in a way. So it's a win-win. For me, it's a win-win. So that's one thing. So now take a look at individuals when we're talking about positioning. Looking at them, you'd see some familiar faces. I hope none of them are on this call before okay, because I don't want them to come to my day. So looking at these people, I'm sure there's at least one familiar face that you've probably seen. So that is what's common between these people. That's what you start thinking about. When I came to X last year, November, there are already people that I was seeing on my timeline, and it seemed like whatever they say, people are just responding to it. Like these people had the energy to have a community, and I was like, okay, since these people know something. And then I started noticing part and part of them, and I was like, very interesting. So I started studying these profiles. What do they have in common? What are they doing? I talked about it once online, and I said that 2019 me, 2019 is too far. I didn't even know anything about 2019, anything design related. But let me say 20, because I started keeping a list from 2019 of the kind of people I want to have in my contact list, like the kind of people I want to have in my circle. But when I became a designer, I started working as a designer professional in 2023, April. So from then, I was on Instagram, I wasn't on X in 2023. I had a list of designers. I was like, I want these people in my contact list. I want to be able to talk to them, chat them up, ask questions, And I started keeping that list, and each year it was increasing. 2024, I didn't really design much because I was in a terrible state. 2024, but then I was like, okay, I still had that list. And when I came to X 2024 November, I saw those people that were like, oh, okay, they have something in common, and I have to study them. And I'm telling you that in that list, I don't know how many names are on my list now. Oh, it's not on my list. I think that list should be like 36 now. Probably 36. But in that list, I have about 16 of them that I'm already in contact with, and we have good relationship already. I know that okay, next year I'm still going to work on the remaining numbers because now I know I'm not going to a DM saying, oh, be my friend, or I mean, it's not like that. There's a way to go about this. You can be strategic about friendships. That's something I feel people don't talk about because we say, "Oh, friendship have to happen naturally." I'm like, yeah, it can, but you can make it happen faster. That's just my belief. Because if people have had in mind, I'm like, I want to be friends with this. And there was a way I carried myself. There was a way I do things online. There was a way I talked that I knew that when they come to my product, okay, there has to be something different about you. To be honest, there has to be something different about. There has to be something unique about you that people will spot it going through your post. Be like, okay, this person's very interesting, and give you a follow. I mean, I'm not saying every single person I want to be friends with must stay in my WhatsApp list. No, even just a follow online, knowing that okay, I'm this person I contact and I can ask questions and learn from this person is a good enough relationship. So those are the things to consider. Yes, showing up consistently. This is another one that people mentioned, and I've been getting so many answers from. Please pardon me, I'm thirsty. Okay. Now, showing up consistently. When I saw this question, I'm actually very biased because I feel like going through the training I did at the beginning of the year, I sometimes have a higher level of focus. I think it just comes naturally. But the thing is, I tell people that I talk to, like have weekly meetings with, consistency doesn't have to mean every day. Consistency can be you making sure you post 3 times a week. That can be consistency. And you showing up consistently. I said, don't think about it like a chore. Just enjoy it. Like the only time there are some seasons I don't post online because I'm really busy. And even at that point, I feel so pained that I can't just post that I'm designing something because I have things that I'm doing. If it's client work that I can't show, or if it's business meetings with co-founders, there's something going on that takes a whole lot of my time. And during that period, I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to post, I'm supposed to share stuff. So I think people see too much into posting or sharing their stuff consistently. I was telling someone that I talked to, I have weekly meetings with as well. I told her that start working on a design and you can post stages of that in progress. You can design 2 screens today, post it, design another 2 screens tomorrow, post it. Anything you're doing, in fact, starting with a blank canvas and then showing how you're sketching is something. Posting your whole progress. I feel the way I enjoy design to the point that I basically just I share everything when I'm ready. I share everything when I'm ready to post. I'm like, okay, there's something in my drafts. I'm like, nah, let me not post this because it's just like she doesn't really care how she says things. She just posts. So I'm like, no, it's not becoming more structured with how I talk, with how I share stuff. Because I mean, you just have to show your work. I've seen so many people post online, show your work, because you never really know who's watching you. You never really know who's studying you. You never really know who what timeline you're appearing on that you become a familiar face to. I mean, there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't show consistency, especially when you're going through a hard time. And then you're asking me like you're struggling to post consistently or you're overthinking posting. Like who would like it? Who would have? I've had someone ask me that they're worried about who would like their post. I'm like, girl, why are you even concerned about who would like your post at the beginning? You should be more concerned about making your page rich with content, with what you're doing. Because someone told me, and I never forgot, someone said, you can't be broke and shy. Both of them can't be in the same sentence. How? How would you help your life? So I don't see no reason why someone should tell me that they find it hard to post consistently because they feel it's cringe to post everything. And I'm like, is that supposed to matter? I mean, as long as you're not posting anything that's illegal, I mean, anything design related, you should share it because you just never know who is watching. I've had some people follow me this year and we've been in a good relationship talking to that I never believed that they would because they're just like, oh, I like what you talk about. I like what you post about. Because if you go through my timeline on LinkedIn or X, I talk a lot and post. I'm not doing more posting, although I think I should improve in my posting of designs if I'm being honest, because I have a lot of designs I've not posted. But I also talk a lot because I feel like I'm not just a designer. I tell myself that I'm a designer with a difference because people have to know me for wanting to impact other people, for wanting to help other people become better. So that's my own thing. So your own thing should be what kind of person do you want to be known for online? That's where you should think, okay, what should you post about? I didn't talk about that thing. I told someone recently that to me, my social media pages are like my digital diary. I'm keeping record of the things progress. I mean, you should think about it like you should post all these things you're doing now because you know next year or next month you improve and you won't go back to the old you. So you should be able to go through your profile and be like, ah, you actually did this, you actually posted this. This design looked horrible, but then it looked very nice. It's a story. Enjoy your story. Feel like you're in a movie, like you are the main character of a movie of your you are the main character of a story. It's your life. So post, enjoy what you do and share it online. Some people may like it, some may not. I've had posts that I thought, oh, people really like this, but they didn't. I mean, there were many likes, and I've had posts that I'm like, nah, I'm just posting for myself, and then people liked it. So you can never really predict what will go viral or what will make you known to people or what people like a lot. You can't. So you can only control what you can post. And that's why it's very dependent on you to post every day. It's very dependent on you because if you can't post every day, make it 3 times a week. Please, a minimum of 3 times a week, because 2 times a week will make it hard for people to be familiar with you, or it'll be a longer period before people become familiar with you. So more like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a week. There's some people that are posting every day. Big up to them. But people do it. So that's one thing. Yeah. So still this people's picture because another thing that is very common with these people here is consistency. They post like what? And you notice them. You just have to notice them. I mean, I've studied a lot of their profiles. I'm like, yeah, these people are good. So that's something to you can study their profiles as well. Take a look at these people, study them and see the similarities in their work system. That's it. So for fear and imposter syndrome, everyone deals with this. If I'm being honest, every single person deals with this. I don't think you get to a level where you say, okay, you're good, you're no longer dealing with this. I don't know. Maybe some people have, but even there's sometimes that I feel like, nah, girl, you're not doing enough. There are times like that. You just have to deal with it, to work with it. That's the thing. You have to work. You should think about it like, oh, you're feeling this way because you know you can be better. That's how you should think about it. So let's see. I saw this quote online and I'm like, okay, it says fear is a passenger, not a driver. So what that means is fear or imposter syndrome shouldn't be the one in control of what you do, in control of your activities, in control of your life. Instead, you can move with it because the cure for fear is not confidence, it's evidence. And that is very true. Because I've had times where I felt like I was not good enough. Like I didn't know this thing at all. Because I don't know if people experience this thing, but then there are some situations that I'll be like, do I even know design at all? Because what I'm saying, I'm like, nah, I don't even know if I know this design thing. But during that period, I have something I call an evidence file. So what I do there is I have a lot of screenshots of achievements that I've gotten. Even when a client tells me, oh, Rachel, I love this work, you did so well, I'll add it there. I'll screenshot it and add it there. Communications with the clients where they're really happy with my work, I add it there. If I posted something that people really like or someone I really respect, repost it, I add it there. Because I know that there are times I feel like it's like you're not good enough. But then I'm like, I am good enough and I'm improving. So I go back to those files and scroll through and I see those things, those comments, those posts, and I smile and I'm like, yeah, this I did that. So I can do it again and I can do it better. So that because the thing is, the first step to wanting to earn or scale more is from your mindset. You have to think and believe that you can. You have to believe that you can. You have to see yourself like you can. You should be so ruthless to the point that people be like, nah, you're not normal. Because I remember when I trying to tell me that because I'm a female, I shouldn't try too hard. I shouldn't act like a guy. I was like, what do you mean? So like the way I'm doing that, it will come off, it will what was the word? Permit me to use this. So someone said the way I behave will turn off guys because I'm too ambitious. I'm too over the top with career work. And I'm like, okay, I've heard you, but I'll still go and do what I'm doing because I have a goal in mind and I'm working with that goal. So you can come and convince me now. You were not there when I was depressed. You were not there when I was going through all that. So you can't convince me. So you have to believe that you can earn. I had a strong that I can earn this money and I will scale and I will grow and I will improve. And I have, and I'm still improving. So that's the thing. You have to believe that these people you and you respect, you can be like them or be better. That's the thing. And then confidence does not come before you start because at the beginning, people think, oh, they're not confident enough to talk to clients or they're not confident enough to do some things. And I'm like, no, confidence comes after you start. Before you have confidence of going through, now I'm very confident going through a sales call with a client. Before I didn't like to turn on my video. Before my video won't be turned on like this, talking to, I'm not even sure I'll be talking to people, talking of turning on my video. So it was not possible then. But the more I kept doing it, I'm like, okay, this thing is actually easier than I thought. So that thing, confidence comes from after doing the thing, doing that thing. As it says, you don't get confidence to post. You get confidence from posting. You get confidence from reaching out, not out. You get confidence from going through the sales calls and closing them, not thinking before you do it. Because I had a time where I was like, how would I go through the sales call? How would I do it? I wasn't confident enough to talk very well and to talk about money. So I'm like, yeah. The more I kept doing it, the more I kept improving in it. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm becoming better. The first time, my voice was very shaky. I was like, oh, probably my hands are even sweaty. But now I'm very, very relaxed, very casual with them when I talk. So those are the things to consider. And that's why imposter syndrome, I don't know if it ever goes away. Because at some point in your journey, especially when you're growing, trust me, this happens when you're growing. That's when you feel like this. So you should be able to deal with it until as if that, okay, you're actually growing. That's why you feel like this. And you can be better. That's why I always advise people to have an evidence file because sometimes you don't know how much of a good designer you are. You don't know how much of the things you've achieved because you didn't keep stock of them or you didn't keep memory of them. So it's pretty easy to just have an evidence file and you see how much it will make you become better as a person. Because there are sometimes that someone will tell me you're doing great, but I don't believe that they're telling me I'm doing great. But when I go back to that file and I see what I've done and I've seen the reviews from clients, see our discussion, see people that tell me, oh, you helped me with this, I don't believe that, okay, I think I'm actually doing something. So that's what that does. That's how it helps. So yeah, talking about it here, create an evidence file. So open your notes app, create 3 sections: wins I've had, skills I know, positive feedbacks I've received, collect screenshots, compliments, more achievements. This is your proof that you're not an imposter. So when your brain says you're not good enough, you show it evidence because our brain listens to proof, listens to facts, listens to logic, not feelings. That's about that. Now, pricing and negotiation. I'm trying to speed up because I'm looking at the time and I spent about 40 minutes. Pricing and negotiation. Things to note. Before I start, human beings they're beautifully complex people. You can never categorize a human being in terms because there's always someone that will be out of that box if you're putting them there. So that's why I first tell people there are designers that simply do not explain their pricing to clients. They believe they should not. If they tell you that's their price, that's their price. You shouldn't be asking them why is their price like that. That's none of their business. But for some of us that like explaining because we want to be transparent and let our clients understand us, I tell them price based on outcome, not ours. Because sometimes pricing by the hour can punish you. When I said pricing by the hour, when they tell me, oh, what's the rate per hour? And I'll say, okay, this is my rate per hour. And then they'll give me the job and I'll get it done. And I'm just giving an example, and I'll get it done in 16 hours. That's the actual design work. But what about my brain work? Researching, thinking, sketching. Those times that you didn't see me actually doing anything on the screen. What happens to those times? So that's why I say those kind of projects give you a fixed price. Now clients that come to me when they say, okay, what's your hourly rate? I'm like, okay, this is my hourly rate and it covers my brain work. I tell clients now because You may not see me on the file, but I am working. I am working. So all those times I need to do a project, I calculate that. And I tell them, okay, at the end of the month, this is how much you'll be billed. But if it's a fixed price, this is how much you'll be billed. Just very transparent with them. And some of you can use the tiered pricing. That's like a 3 package method. For example, the basic plan, the standard, the premium. And break your services and what they'll get into those packages. So in case your clients can't afford premium, you give them standard. But you still communicate. The thing with winning clients is communication. You have to communicate in a way that they feel like it has to be, it does has to be you. I can talk to a client and this client can tell me, oh, because I haven't had a client like that I worked on a project. And she was like, oh, she doesn't have that amount for how much I charge. And I'm like, okay, what's the budget? And then she's like, this is her budget. And I'm like, okay, your budget is well below what I stated, but with your budget, this is what we'll do. This is how I'll make it work with your budget. It may not be as vast as we wanted it in the first, but we start with this and make sure this brings you money. Because the thing with clients, especially business owners, they want a return in their investments. Them paying you is a return. They're investing in you. So they want a return in that. So that's something to note when working with clients. That's something to deal with. You just have to communicate and be so confident. Like, let them feel like, nah, this person knows what she's talking about. Even that person even tell her, be like, no, this person, come and listen to the way she's talking. I've had a client that referred another clients to me. I felt so like, she said the way you communicated this thing, she was like, it had to be you. The way you communicated what will happen, what she will get from working with you. Because some clients will be audacious enough to ask you, why should they work with you and not anyone else? What will you tell them? Have you ever thought about that before? That should be part of the things you should practice. I practice what I have to say. I practice things that I have in my mind that if they ask me, I'm not caught off guard. Things that is about me, that represent me. I practice those things. So when you tell me, okay, why should I work with you? What's your value that another person won't give me? Because I'm not the best designer in the world. I'm not the top one. I can boldly say that, but I'm working on it. But so far as I know, I'm not the number one designer. I'm not as of now. But the thing is, I can still compete with the number one. That's the place I'm getting to. So when a client talks to me, they're like, she has to be the person. Like, it has to be her. As far as they're concerned, it just has to be you. That's the way to do things. And for you to get to that point, first, it's a mental thing. If you have to talk, my pastor once told me that, do you talk to yourself a lot? Because he heard me talk, and I'm like, yes, sir, I do. And I speak out. It's not like I'm just in my head. I speak out. I tell them, yeah, that you can do this. You are this. You can handle this. You're good at this. These are the things I do, because that confidence has to be so visible to the client. Confidence is not something you can, like, it's not a physical thing, but it's something you can see in a person. From the way they carry themselves, from the way they talk, from the way they address things. Like, and you should learn not to be caught off guard that it will throw you off. You should learn to think on your feet. There's some question that clients will ask me, I didn't have a response for. I can tell them, okay, I'll get back to you on that. It's fine to say you don't know something at the point where you get back to them on that, you're like, I'm not sure on that thing. I found when I was learning about SEO early on, the clients asked me, what was this tool? What? I was like, I didn't know that, but I told him, I said, okay, because I don't know this, I will go and study this and learn. I told him, the exact time I told this, I would go and learn about this too. Yeah. And I would see if it's truly a benefit for your business, because it's something you're paying for. So you may be paying for it and not really using it well. So I would study deeper so I can understand what value it brings to your business and if it is good in the long run or not. Give me this timeline. Sometimes they can't be like, oh, they don't want that time, like they don't have that time, or they don't want a newbie. But sometimes, and most times, the client will be impressed with the way you see things. I'm like, okay, give it a try, let's see. It's communication. Communication can bring out the money you think your client don't have. Because I tell people that you'd say your client didn't want to pay you, but they will pay another person that money you think they didn't want to pay you. As I said earlier, you have to make your clients know that you are the one, not anybody else. That's it. And yes, stop charging as if you are replaceable. You know, some people say, okay, my price is 1,500. And the client like, oh, they don't have 1,500. And to some point from the 1,500, you've gotten to 500 or maybe 400. How? Like, why? Permit me for being very honest, because I just have to, like, no, that thing should stop. Because it shows desperation in a way. And when you're charging from 1,500 to 500 or 400, that same clients that said, I don't have that 1,500 to pay you can leave. I'm like, I don't really trust person. I don't really trust. I'm still gonna pay someone else that 1,500. So that's something you should consider. And another thing is, please ask for a deposit. I've had so many complaints, people telling me that they worked for this client and the client didn't pay. I'm like, how did that happen? Did you guys draft a contract? Your contract didn't ask for a deposit? Your time is valuable. And some people unfortunately, have worked with clients that didn't value their time enough. And I'm like, no, you should have made the client know that your time is valuable. Because people are very funny, and sometimes in this industry, we work with really funny people. Some people will think that, oh, aren't you just sitting in front of a laptop and just spending 2-3 hours? They won't really take your work. Like, some clients, because they are paying you, they can, in quotes, degrade you with their behavior or their words, because they feel they are paying you, so they are better, they are higher than you. That some clients are very interesting people, to be honest. But that shouldn't give them a right to treat you as a, because you are a professional. They came to you. They can't do it. So you have to prove that to them. And asking for a deposit, it should be a fixed thing. It's not something you negotiate and they'll say, oh, after this. No, you pay for it first. Because it's my time. For me to, I tell clients now, let me know when I'll send you the invoice and you can make the deposit in so day to this day. For example, I'll say, oh, from Tuesday to Friday, you can make a deposit between those days. Because if not, because I'm allocating that time period to you, so I'd know if I'd push. I tell clients that, so I'd know if I would roll over the next clients I have, for example, to like next month, so I can focus on your project. So if you're not paying between that time with that time, I can take on another client. I did tell them, so they would know. The idea they're dealing with my time. As their work is important, my time is important. And it's important to me, it's important to them for the business. So yes, you know how to respond when your client says your price is too high. As I said earlier, I've had designers that they don't want to justify their pricing. They're like, their price, it's too high, it's the price. But for some of us, when I say know how to respond, you should tell them, this is what you're doing. This is the outcome of your project. This is why it's priced this way, because this is what you get from it. This is what your business will get. Because sometimes clients speak in the language of ROIs, return on investment. So those are the things you should consider. So let's move on. Yes, let's talk about Clever. First off, I want to thank Clever for sponsoring this, because I talked about it online. I want to share this, and they reached out and said, okay, that they'd want to promote this so people would know about this. And they want to help, because I've noticed one thing about Clever that I really like is how intentional they are about freelancers' growth. I mean, that's the reason why Clever was made, to help receiving and sending money easy for freelancers like us. So yes, let's talk about Clever. Now, if you get a client, for example, the next thing is how to earn. How do you receive money? Because I posted something earlier and I was like, you want to earn in USD, but you don't even have the account to earn the money. Where do you want to get the money into? Where? That's why I was like, I should first earn first. I'm like, how would you earn first if you don't have the account to collect the money? So you should explain to me. That's the first. Sometimes people think they should get something first before they do the other thing. Like sometimes people think they should get the clients first before they open an account, before they get USD account. But I'm like, no. It's just like how I tell myself that if you want to make a lot of money, where is that money coming to? You have to plan about this thing. Structure has to be, as I said, we are freelancers, but we think like a business owner. There has to be structure around the things you do. So if you want to earn money, where is it coming to? That you'd receive it. And that's why I like Clever. I use Clever on contract. Clever works really well on contract. And Clever is fast. Thank God, because I've tried banks, I've tried apps, and they take time. It's not like me that if I'm withdrawing now and I need the money in the next few hours, that's why I use Clever, because Clever is fast. So Clever, you can get your personalized USD account in minutes, like literally. You can just open a USD account in minutes and it'll be yours. And there's a capped fee on your UXD deposit. That's 0.8%. Very low fees. Because I've seen some places where they charge a lot of fees on your money. They didn't work for it, it's your money. But they are taking quite a good amount from it. And I'm like, no, that won't work. So that's why I use Clever. And you can easily receive your USD or your Naira and can easily convert to your Naira. And Clever is very simple on Clever. You can easily register and verify your account and you're good to go. And they have one of the best rates, one of the highest rates that I've used. Apart from Clever, who has the highest rate? Even Gray. Clever is higher than Good. So which they have really good rate. And you can send and receive your dollars directly within Clever with Clever tags. So that even has a zero charge on it. So for example, if you're using Clever and I'm using Clever and I want to send you money, I send you money directly and there's no charges, nothing on it. And you receive the full money with no charge. Now, why Clever? Because you can quickly withdraw to your Naira account as Nigerian freelancers, if you are, which have told Clever that they should open more currencies like in different countries. Because some of us have plans to travel a lot, and if you want us to use Clever everywhere, we should have it everywhere. So you can quickly withdraw to your Naira account and you have your dollar card, a virtual dollar card that you can pay for bills, subscriptions, payments like airtimes, and you can fund directly to your Naira account to convert it to dollar. Imagine you want to pay for a subscription that is in dollars. You can easily send from your Naira account to Clever, convert it in Clever to dollars, and then pay. And it's instant. Like as you're sending the send button, they're telling you successful, it's in. And then earn cashback points. So when you receive money and you send money on Clever, they give you points, and these points you convert them to money. I think it's really cool because it's just like me that I transfer, I do a lot of transfer and do a lot of receiving. And I'm like, oh, you're paying me or you're giving me money for sending and receiving money. I'm like, that's cool. I mean, at the end of the day, you can see that money can amount to like $200, and $200 is quite good money. I mean, I know I can use $200, but even if it's not a lot, I can do something good with $200. So that's how you accumulate, and it's just something you just relax. I say, oh, money is just there. So it's pretty cool. And then there's a fee waiver for when you receive USD deposits from Upwork. So for people using Upwork, you would have zero fee once you send money to your Clever from Upwork. They won't charge you for anything. You get your complete money. So yes, if you haven't downloaded Clever yet, you should register here, and this is my code. I'm placing a code because I am going to do a giveaway this week. Today is Tuesday. Yes, there'll be a giveaway this week. I've announced it before. Some people will earn Contra Pro subscription for a month. Some people earn that. And some people will earn money. They will earn money. And some people will win a profile optimization, Contra profile optimization from me. I'll personally go through your profile, tell you what you should do, tell you what you should not do, tell you how you should post on Contra, because now I can community. And then, yeah, if you already have a Clever account, that's cool. As long as you attended this, I would post about the giveaway and then select the people that would win. So it's completely fine. If you have a Clever account, that's wonderful. So time for question and answers, as I said, which I've spoken a lot more than I intended. But the main thing was this question and answer to hear what you guys have to say and then see how best I can see how best I can handle it. So yes, questions. You have the floor. I think I've been talking for a while. Ask me questions. You can talk if you want to. Okay, let's go with Isaac. Isaac, thank you for raising hand.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Oh,
Thank you for everything you've said so far.
thank
All right.
you.
My question is let's take for instance a freelancer that you're not really so known like that, specifically here in Nigeria, right? So you're not really so known in this industry, or maybe you're just coming up, right? But you actually know the job, you have the skill, every stuff. But the issue is that you don't really have that profile stuff online. Like you're not really well known online like that. So do
I'm
you
sorry,
think?
I don't know if it's just me, but your voice is muffled. I'm trying to pick out your words.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, can you hear me now?
Ah, yes, this is better. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, so my question is, okay, what if we have an individual, like probably a freelancer, right? That is
Okay.
just trying to build his online profile and is
Mhm.
not so well known like that. So do you think, that kind of individual should have a thought of probably starting up a studio or whatever stuff like that? So if the person doesn't even want to, okay, say, okay, um, I don't want to start as a freelancer. I just want to have a studio. Do you think it's kind of proper?
Okay. So for someone just starting out, right? As I said earlier, humans are very interesting people. There's never a box to keep everybody. There's always an exception. But I'd say rather than having, it depends on what you want to use your studio for. For example, I posted something, was that yesterday, where I said the secret to scaling fast is collaboration and partnership. So especially when I hear the question, someone that is not well known, like you're just starting, people don't know you online. I'm telling you that the secret to being well known fast is collaboration and partnership. And what I mean by that is you get someone that would work with you and say, okay, you would be, if you're an app designer, the person will focus on web. Or if you're both an app and web designer, the person will focus on motion, or it'll be like a 3D person. And you guys come together and be creating, designing really good work and posting it. Well, at the times where people appreciate really good work and really good designers. And that's something you should aim for. If you're starting, if I'm someone, I can open an X account today, 0 followers, and I can assure myself of getting to 4,000 by February. I tell you that I'm not just going over the numbers because I have some priority that I'm facing. It's not hard to grow a following on the internet now. It's not hard. It's not a big deal. It's easy to be well known. It's easy to be popular. You just have to know what you're doing and stand out immediately you join in and immediately you decide. So you can partner with a few people and you guys decide that you want to be pushing out really good work weekly. And trust me, people would recognize you fast. So now, if that's the case, you then want to use that to create a studio. That's awesome because that's what we're doing currently. I've decided that okay, these designers, my co-founders are better than me at design. They've gotten so much experience at good design. My edge to them is that I'm more businessy. I know a lot of business things in design, and I always go through the UX with them when we're talking about products. And we're thinking about hiring people to join our studio that we would do. Let's tell people that our studio will be well known in a short time, and you can market somewhere. This is the studio account I'm using for this session, plus your studio. Will be very well known in a short time because we already have the roadmap, I've already guide of what we want to do, and I want to scale fast. And the overall thing about it is just producing good work because we're partnering and collaborating with people that are really good, even if they are not well known. It's not about their follower numbers, it's about how good are you. So we can be posting and designing and creating, and people will know. People will start to know. So when you're posting and you keep on showing up, people would know. So even if you're just starting out, I'd say if you're just starting and you feel you're not good enough, partner with people that would help your work shine. Collaborate with designers too, friends of yours, maybe someone else too. They're just starting with you, but you guys have good design taste and are learning man. Always improve every day so people can watch and think, yeah, this person is getting better. So I think yeah, that's how to go about it. So for the studio, if you want to use that to branch or brand it as a studio, that's awesome. It's cool. Mm. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure. Thank you very much.
thank you. Okay, so next, Clever Craft. Interesting name. I like it. So,
Wow. Thank you so much.
hi.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
So, my name is Clever. And first of all, I would like to thank you, Rachel. Thank you for the impact. Thank you for the words. Thank you for how you've been teaching us ever since. And I would also like to commend your eloquence and then your bright smile. Thank you so much. So, on to the question. First of all,
Mhm.
I would like to ask you about Contra. You
Okay.
know, I know that you have a plan for January and February, you understand? But I
Yeah.
just need, I've been trying to grow on Contra. I know that Contra is a community and as well as it has a job board for freelancer. So I want to know how possible is it to get jobs even without Contra Pro? So I realized that the money for Contra Pro is expensive. And
Yeah.
then even there was, I think there was a 50% discount during that Black Friday time around, and I even missed it. It was so sad because I never have $100 you get. So I want to ask, I've been posting my works, I've been engaging with people, and I'm increasing my discovery score significantly. So I want to ask, how possible is it? Do you think it's possible?
It is possible. It is. But then the tricky part is you have to be very good, like above average. You have to be. I'm going to be honest because it's free to create a profile on Contra and add your works. It's free to do that. And Contra has clients like now, my Contra page, which I won't share here. It'll be more in the mentorship class because it's closed, so I can be very open with everybody there. But clients reach out to me on Contra. I'm at the stage where now I apply to jobs for fun to test the place. Like now, I said my 2026 plan is going to Instagram. And I think Behance, yes, I'll be on Instagram and Behance and testing that platform. Now I'll be applying to jobs on Behance for the sake of, yeah, let me test it and see what works. Let me test out the clients here work, how they think, how they do things here. Because clients reach out to me now. But the thing is, for Contra, you have to be above average in the sense your works have to really speak for you. Your works have to be the kind of thing that when clients see, immediately they go to your profile. And they're like, wow, who did that? That kind of thing. Because Contra will see, if your work is really good, Contra will push it. They would feature it even if you're not paying for a pro plan. So you just have to do really, really good work. And then the way you present your projects on Contra should make sense. You should have some that are like playgrounds, post a lot of stuff, just visuals. So clients can be like, yeah, this person has very good visual taste. But then there should be some like case studies that explain your thinking. So clients can, because contract clients pay well. So they need to see that, okay, you know what you're doing and you do really good work. You also have a very good stance in visual design. So they're like, yeah, they need you. So you need to be, because I've seen the work on Contra and every day I'm like, Rachel, do you even know this design thing at all? Because these people are, so you have to be up there for you not to pay for Contra Pro and clients to reach out to you because Contra have a way of displaying projects that they like, that they've seen. They have handpicked projects that they feature. That means the contract team has gonna be like, oh, this doesn't do really good. Or let's be now that doesn't matter if you're on a pro plan or you're not. You can just join today and upload projects and they are good. For example, to give an example, Behance, that I opened a Behance account because someone told me that it's a challenge to get projects on Behance, either this, either that. And I'm like, okay, let me see what's the challenge there. And I opened a profile on the 11th of December. And I uploaded my project. I uploaded just 4 projects from my contract profile that I copied to Behance. And that day, same 11th, I opened it around like 5 p.m. And by 11, I had 2 inquiries from clients. And then the next day, I had more inquiries. I was like, okay, this Behance thing seems to be working. So now what I want to do is study how clients move around Behance. Because I noticed, the pattern I noticed was that these clients that reached out to me were also clients that joined the platform newly. It hasn't been long. So then like, okay, is Behance bringing clients that are new to me that I'm new? So that's something I want to test and see how it works. But the point is, you have to do really good work because I haven't really done much on my Behance, but I get notifications that my projects are being added to people's case studies, people mood boards. And I'm like, yeah. So I told my co-founders, okay, we need to open an account on Behance and post really good work because all these platforms are working. You just need to be really good and position yourself well. So apart from being above average, you need to position yourself well, like someone that knows what they're really doing. And I've handled, and if you want projects that are like 10K, behave like you've handled project of 10K before, present your work like 10K projects. and then see what happens. So yeah, that's about it.
Wow.
Answered.
Thank you very much. Thank
Well,
you. And one important thing, I mean, two things I've
okay.
taken from this is, first of all, you have to be good.
Mm,
Even on any platform, when you're good, people will definitely find you. And then any platform will work if you work. So
exactly.
I picked that. Thank you so much.
Thank
The
you.
floor is open for other people.
Okay. So we have Emmanuel. Jelly, is this still asking? Okay, I think he's not.
Uh, okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
Okay, yeah, thank you, UI Jimenez. Thank you a lot. My name is Josephina, by the way. This, I think, I've been trying to change this name though. So
Okay.
basically,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask the
Mhm.
same question that Clevercraft asked, because I've been building my like contract profile.
Yeah.
So I think it's done. But
Mhm.
another thing I would like to ask is on Twitter, I've been seeing a lot of designers like get gigs,
Mhm.
and then let me say I'm kind of starting out on Twitter, and I think it's more of getting visibility and then posting good works, and then designer and then clients locate you. So I would like
Yeah.
to know more about that. And then one thing I appreciate you said was you can't be broke and be shy. So I think we'll be going full all in on that. So
Yeah. Mhm.
I don't think there's any other thing. And then please, I think I've been on your WhatsApp for like 6 months. Please, if you can
What's
check
up?
my message.
Okay.
Yeah.
What number? Okay, I'll check because now since I relocated, I've moved my line, so I'm not really active on some. So I will check that. You can just send me a message again. So I don't know.
All right. Thanks so much. It's just like a review. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, that's cool. So if I did get, since Clevercraft asked most of the questions you have regarding X, is very similar to what I said. X is very visual, so you have to post really good work. I mean, we know there are some designers I know particularly that they scaled so fast because of the kind of work they're pushing out. That is Mark of Scale Studio, Scale Solutions. And then we have Satya and Jay, I think, yes, of Create Studio. And then we have Marcel of Cargool Studio. Those guys were posting really good work. And before you knew it, they had so much visibility. And people, you can repeat, like these things are like templates. You can do the same thing and you scale. Trust me. That's why I told my co-founders that we can't be bothered about visibility or being known because we know what to do. It's just for us to do it. It's the doing that matters. So same thing as X, post really good work and share your thoughts, not only about posting design. People need to know you're an actual person. So post your thoughts from time to time. Post what you think would help the community because you may think you don't know much, but what you know can help someone that doesn't know that thing. That was what helped me when I felt like, okay, there were already so many senior designers. I don't think I've gotten to their point. But then I was like, let me share what I know. There's someone that would want to know what I know. So that's just how to do it. Social media is pretty much the same in any platform. It's just that they just have a few things that differentiates them. Like LinkedIn, for example, is mostly your thought process, how you think as a designer, showing because of big companies that are there. So you can show them that, yeah, you can think like a designer. And then with that, I'm posting really good work. You do really well. Then for Twitter, it's very visual, like posting designs, posting roast. I think some people still do that before and after, and then engaging in design talks here and there. That really works on X. For Instagram, it's creators, like reels, you discussing how you do things, your process, showing your workspace, those design easy. So every platform, basically, if you are good, better than average, you'd succeed with your skill, your positioning, communication. You succeed on any platform. So that's about it. Thank you. Okay, next, Google. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Uh, First up, I wanted to say thank you for running this class or whatever.
Yeah.
It's very valuable information. Secondly, I have 3 questions. Should I just ask the most important one, or should I just go with all 3?
We can go with all 3, then I'll try to. If I don't get any, then I'll ask you to come again.
All right, fine. First off, I senior designer that I was talking to last year that the end of Q4 is very slow, and that if you're applying, you should just wait till January. So is all these things that you said, are they things that we can start doing tomorrow, or should we just wait till January? Secondly, you about only reaching out to our type of clients. How do we figure out our type of clients? Thirdly, a lot of the things you've talked about, you emphasize that these are things that everybody can do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get that, but I wanted to know how much does the quality of the work you have impact the success of these strategies? Like, I constantly worry, am I good enough? And I'm wondering, like, does it even matter? Does the quality of your work even matter? If you do these things, are you guaranteed to be successful regardless of if you're a good or mediocre or really good designer? So yeah, those are all 3.
Okay. So yes, please come again with the first one. I got the second 2. Please come again with the first one.
First one, I was wondering, I heard that Q4 is very slow. End of Q4 is very slow. So
Yeah.
should we just wait till January to start doing all these things?
Thank you so much. You asked really good questions. The first one, no, you don't need to wait till the end of January. I have designer friends that they get inquiries almost every day. This Q4 is, some people think it's slow, but it's not. In fact, it's too rushed, if you ask me. There's so many clients that want to get things done, want to have their website before January. I'm like, hold up. That's why I always have full capacity at this point. A lot of designers, I'm not gonna say a lot, but some designers are full capacity this period. Because a lot of clients are like, a lot of founders are like, they want to get their stuff ready for next year. So they want things done now. I have a client currently I'm working with. I'm supposed to be on holiday break now if it's left for me. But because these clients, they want to get their stuff done for next year, and I'm like, so I have to work with them because there's rush this end of the year. And that's what I was telling a friend of mine, Tega. I was like, after this week, I don't want any more clients. Everybody should hold on till next year because we need rest. So I think these are things you can start with immediately. You don't have to wait till next year. You can use the advantage of people wanting to get stuff done and prepared next year. You can use that to your advantage. So that's something. For the second, how do you figure out your type of clients? What type of project do you enjoy the most? That's how you figure out your type of client. There are projects I've worked on that if you ask me to do it again, I'm not sure unless I needed the money. No. But if I don't need the money, like in the point where I'm like, I need this money, I can do without those kind of projects. Those are not my type of clients. So it depends on what you would know because there are just some projects you enjoy more than the other. Unless you like all projects, which I am yet to see. But unless you like all projects, then you can say, but then there are some projects that you like more than the other. Then you can categorize that into the kind of industry that that project is related to. So once you figure that out, you figure out your type of clients. Because there are some projects that stresses me. You see project that has to do with dashboards. I do those projects, but when you give it to me, I'm like, those are those kind of projects that they come to me that projects that I don't like I'm like, I can't do it without. If you come to me, I will charge you in a way that will make you run. So if you still stay, that's when I'll be like, okay, let me just take it because it still stayed. But left for me, you see dashboard projects. Or have you dealt with projects in have you dealt with projects in avians like aircraft, like aerospace? Have you dealt with projects that you need engineers on? Have you dealt with some kind of projects that everything about it tires you out? Like there's just so much going on. Have you dealt with healthcare projects that has like 4 user base? And those user base have their admin side and their customer side. You see those kind of projects. When it comes to me, I'm like, dear Lord Jesus, not again. So those kind are not, I can't do without those guys. But I say project that deals with probably small business owners, parenting, fashion. You see food, anything, you see all these restaurant apps or this food business, they're not my type of clients. I can take them, but they're not my type of clients. Because I feel I enjoy more projects and those kind of projects. So that's how I know my type of clients. The project I really enjoy and would like to do a lot of times repeatedly. Those are my type of clients. So that's how to figure it out. And then the exactly CMR project. This is those projects. Huh? My God. Nah, you would think, see, you would think to the point that you would ask yourself that, do you really know this thing? Maybe you should just go and start farming somewhere. Those kind of things. So I'm not doing that. So that's how I know. So for your last question, how does the quality of work like affect, I would say, your position on this platform? It really does. The quality of work you have actually, sincerely, does affect how soon you get a client and how well known you be in a place. Like my project, there are projects I've done before now, but you'd not see them on my portfolio anymore. Like on Contra, other than my portfolio now, you won't see them there. I've taken them down because I felt like their quality wasn't up to the standard I want now. So, but when I joined, I added them because that's what I had. But when I presented it, I made sure that it had to make sense, because the truth is, just as there are levels to us being designers, there are levels with clients. There are clients that would like and want to work with you at the level you're at, and there's some that want to work with you at a higher level. So that's, I think that's why we always grow as designers. When I started, the kind of clients I worked with then too were the ones that wanted to work with me on my level. They were on my level with me too. They weren't the kind of clients I'm working with now that are very particular about return investments now. So that's why those kind of clients are very particular about return investments. You can charge them very well because they know what they want. And they know that, okay, if we can get them that thing, they're willing to pay for it. So those are the kind of clients, the kind of projects I have now on my contract are projects that have actually brought value to the clients. The one that if it's money that they wanted from their client, like from their customer, they got money, they were paid from that app or they were paid from that website, or their client purchased something. Those are the kind of projects I have, because those are the kind of clients I want to work with now. The one that I would help your business so I can charge you as much as I want to. So that's how quality matters. So it's a level thing. Wherever you are now, start with that, and the clients that you want at that level will come to you, because at that level you are good at that level. So when you improve, you get better, and you become better at that level as well. So that's how it works. I hope I answered the question, the two of them. I hope I did.
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we have Rabiu next.
Hello, good afternoon.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing and trying to help us improve. So, my question is this:
Mhm.
regarding contract, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I have a contract account. I've been buying Contract Pro for about 3 months now. I've got projects there. I've got services. I'm always posting on the community. In fact, my discovery point is currently at 119 right now. But for these past 3 months, I feel like I've been applying to jobs and all, and feels like I'm still stuck in that phase of not getting jobs. I'm like, maybe is it going to be? I mean, you spoke about pitching yourself and selling yourself to the client at the beginning. But I was like, I don't know, maybe there's something I'm doing wrong or what. I don't know. I'm just like, I was so tired at some point last month, but I was like, okay, you can't be tired. You just have to see this through, that sort of thing. So, what do you think? I even sent you a DM on X as well, but I don't know. Maybe you've been busy. You've not been able to
I'm
reply.
just sorry. I haven't. I will check them. So first, your contra. Contra is tricky. Contra is tricky, but there's a way to go about it. As I said earlier, the quality of projects matters. I want to check your profile. I'm tempted to, but I'm holding because I know that that's part of the giveaway. That I want to have some people win contra profile optimization. So I'm tempted to, but for now, I'd say first off, your project matters. You need to go through your project. I don't know the project you have there, but you need to go to your project and figure out, look at your project from the standpoint of a client. If you're a client, will you hire yourself? Be sincere. That's the first thing to know. That's how I test myself. I'm like, I do that thing. Like recently, I went through my ex profile. I said, if I'm a client, I don't think I'll hire her for this because targeting a new kind of client to work with. So I went to my profile and I was like, okay, if I'm a client, I don't think I will hire me for this particular kind of project. So I said, okay, that's time for me to improve. So that's the first thing. Go through your profile and see if look at it as a client, would you hire yourself? And then second of, how often do you promote yourself on contract? There's a way to do things on contract, right? There's a way to pickle contract teams fancy that they would keep their eye on you. Basically, just tag, like if you upload projects on contract, tag it on your social pages, tell people to present in a way that would make people want to go to your contract page. That visibility to your page matters, and tag contract to it as well. By the time you're tagging them for each project that you upload and each thing that you do, they would notice you, yeah, and they would feature your project, or they would give you a creator spotlight. And once you do, if they do that on their X, people know you well, so you'd milk on that as well and post more. And if they do it on their platform, that's even better, because then potential clients can see your work. So it's just you being strategic about all these things. I don't think you should spend 3 months, although it differs for everybody. I don't think you should spend 3 months and more and not get a return in your investments. That means there's something you can fix. So yeah, that's about it.
All right. Thank you.
Oh yeah, welcome. Okay, so Pelumi Lagunju. Ooh, so it sounds nice.
Okay, hi. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Pelumi, just like you said, and I want to thank you for putting this together. I've really learned a lot. And I've been following you on X, so I've seen like how you post your work regarding like contract, the studio and everything. So I want to say thank you once again. I have a question, basically, regarding when you have meetings with clients, and you said something that struck me. You said you need to learn how to think on your feet.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't your clients should not catch you off guard. Basically, you have to be confident, stuff like that. So I want to ask for like tips, basically, because it's very possible. It has happened to me. Let me just say personally that I would up on a call with the client, and in the end, it will not close into anything. So, what are tips that you would give in order to at least reduce this, or at least make sure that whatever it is that you're, getting on call with clients, you're closing the deal, or you're closing the sale, whatever way that sounds. I don't even understand my question.
Yes, I think I do. So first is, I'll just ask, before you hop on this call with clients, do you research about them and get to know them, like their company, themselves? What preparation do you do before you get in a call with them?
Okay, I do my research. Although sometimes you are not able to do those research because some people, their profile are like, they don't post anything, they don't post about the business and stuff like that. So avenues where I have the chance to do so, I usually check their socials and stuff like that.
Okay, so yes, I do advise you do that, but for clients that they don't have any social media presence, a lot to talk about. What I do is, before we hop on a call, I ask a lot of questions before we hop on a call. That first, you reaching out to me or me reaching out to you, I get things for you. Ask questions like, okay, have a business page online or a website. If they're like, no, are there certain things you're interested in? Is there any site that you like? I just try to ask a lot of questions, so I'll have a lot on the call with them and try to, so it would be like a familiar thing, like we've discussed texting. Now we're seeing each other. The reason for my own call with clients is just so we'd see ourselves and just talk and be like, oh, familiar faces, because the main thing has actually been done texting. Most of the time I closed it without just texting, without having a call. So I think it really boils down to how much enthusiasm you show to the client project, because sometimes clients can perceive the excitement you have to work on their project with them. So if there's someone that's just very new to the business, don't have a social media presence, nothing, you can be like, oh, you don't have this. So what kind of, if it's maybe fashion industry, for example, what kind of websites do you like that you like your business to be like? Like, just ask so many questions that they'll feel like, yeah, you are invested. You want to know so much things about them. Ask questions like, the colors that they want for their business. What was the inspiration behind the colors? Why they choose that color? Is it because of this brand? Is it because their favorite color? And what was the reason for them starting the company? I always ask founders, what was the inspiration behind your company? Or what was the inspiration behind your company's name? They have to tell me the story. I am invested. Let me know everything about you from texting. And then when we call, I would have made further research on what they said. For example, you say, oh, I like pink because it's feminine. I'm like, oh, do you know that big brands like the Sephora use pink? I'm wondering, but I feel like big brands like that, they use pink because this is what it communicates. This is how it can work for you. I can make sure you do this, do that, do this. So I said, if they don't have social media presence, you have to then ask them a lot of questions for you to know what they want and then expand on that question before the call. So you do like 60% talking, and out of that 60% talking is you 40% talking about their business and 20% talking about them. So the remaining 40% to then be them, okay, saying, oh, ask so much question that they will have questions to ask you. That's what I do. That they'll be like, okay, you've asked sometimes most of clients tell me that they're very impressed. They'll be like, oh, that's a good question. No one asked them this. You can ask ChatGPT to tell you question that you think the client will be surprised to even hear from you, just to impress them, because people apparently work with their emotions. A client can work with you just from feeling happy talking to you. They don't even need to look at your portfolio again. Yeah, this person I enjoyed. I had a client where I figured out she likes anime because of asking questions about her project. Oh, what's the reason for the name? She was like, oh, she watched Naruto at the beginning, then she did. I'm like, oh yeah, anime fan too. Me too. That was where I was like, I've gotten something. Then on the call, after talking about business and text, on the call, I was like, yeah, do you know, thinking about when I was making research about your company name and the colors, do you know apparently it fits with this anime character? Because I knew she liked anime. And that was how we went. And immediately she was like, yeah. She was like, oh, she told me. She was like, I have another call with some other candidates, but don't worry, I'll come back to you. You just have to see, you have to pizzazz your clients. You have to make them feel like, that's why a lot of questions is very important if they don't have a social media profile. But if they do have things online, make so much research that to the point that when you start talking to them, you'll be asking them things that they may not have even thought about their business. I've asked the question that you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I was like, you need to. I mean, it's your business. So those are the kind of things. So that when they ask you any remaining questions, it won't be things that are too deep. And then if they ask you a question that maybe you didn't, you'll be like, I've had that instance. So I was like, oh, I probably missed that when making research. But can you send like the documents to me or where that is on your website page? Let me go through it and study it again. It's fine sometimes to say you missed something, but you'd go back to it and make sure. That is being transparent and honest with them. And some clients like it. So those are the things I use that work for me, to be honest. I hope I answered your question. Because I hope I did.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so next, Samuel. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can hear you.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. I think I really enjoyed this section basically, and I have to comment on how well spoken you are. I think that means a lot to clients when they hear people speak so well, and so yeah, well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So what I want to ask you is, I think on contract, right?
Yeah.
Something I just want a very sincere answer from you in regards to contract. What I noticed personally is that contract works best for low code designers or engineers, basically. So, so when you now let's take this is more like they're talking to designers, people with little or no experience when it comes to web design and stuff like that. So would you still advise that they go for contract pro, or let me see, have you had more success with getting projects on contract that are more just design or more framework based work, if you get what I mean?
Okay, so are you a designer or a no-code developer?
Designer.
Okay, yes. So if I got your question right, if you're just starting out, like in the industry, if you're just starting out, I won't advise contract. I'm being honest. I won't advise contract. Contract in a way favors those with experience or those that can brand their projects in the right way. Contra is very visual. So if you are just starting out, I'd say use social media, like social platforms like X, LinkedIn, Instagram, Threads to your advantage, rather than I'm not on Upwork or Fiverr to know how it works and if it favors people just started. But I think I've seen jobs on, was it Fiverr or Upwork, where they're like entry level designers, like people with 1 to 2 year experience. So I think that can work. I'm not there to be sure, but based on what I've seen on Contra, for beginning designers, you may want to take your time doing things. You may want to, yeah, Samuel, you can let me know if that's what your question is directed at. Be sure.
Oh, so what I'm saying in essence is this is not a beginner designer. What I'm saying is, what I've noticed on Contra basically is people get more success with jobs when they're dealing with more framer-based work, design, marriage, that kind of work, right? And so that's where my question is, like,
okay,
where is a designer with no code experience development to still subscribe to Contract Pro and things like that? That's my question.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. Yes, 100% yes, because I'm a testimony of that. I'm a testament and a product of that, if that makes sense. My jobs on Contra, if I can rate its percentage, framer jobs have I actually gotten from Contra? Let me think. Like not me onboarding the clients to Contra, I've gotten them from Contra. Probably two. Yeah, probably 2 or 1 thereabout. Most of the jobs I've gotten from Contra directly is design, purely design. I did nothing else. So yes, it favors just designers. Most of the framer projects I've gotten is me onboard. Yeah, just 2 from Contra that I've gotten. But the remaining framer project is me onboarding the clients to Contra because they reach out to me from X or from Instagram. Right? So that's where they come from. But for design, the company that I started working with on Contra, I'm still working with them till now. I just do design for them and I got them from Contra. I'm not doing any no code thing for them. No. So yes, Contra favors just designers. The main thing is branding it and packaging it well. And if they do come to you that, oh, maybe this client comes to you and say, oh, he just wants a design service, then along the way, he's like, oh, this website, can you develop it too? You can collaborate with a framer or Webflow or native developer that you know. That's where collaboration and partnership comes in. So you can do that. But yes, it favors just designers as well. Thank you. Okay, James. Sounds funny pronouncing my surname. Yeah. Okay, James here. Okay, I think he's not. Okay, so Dija.
Hi, good day.
Good day. How are you?
I'm good. Are you?
I'm great.
Yeah, thank you so much for this webinar. It was very grounded and actionable.
Thank you.
The part about researching clients, using their language, and positioning yourself confidently instead of sounding desperate really stood out to me. Also mentioned Contra, which I haven't used before, but I'm signing up today. From your experience, where do freelancers usually see the fastest win with it? Like the visibility, credibility, or closing deals? That's my question. Thank you so much.
Okay, please come again. Where the freelancers get what fastest? I didn't get that.
Like from your experience, where do freelancers usually see the fastest win with Contra? Is it through visibility, credibility, or closing deals?
I'd say is visibility and credibility when it comes to closing deals fast. Because sometimes when people know you for something and when it seems that you've done this thing for someone, clients don't really ask too much questions and you just get it done. Like that's what Contra helps me with, for example. The readers always ask reviews from clients. So it can be there. Like, okay, I've done this thing. I'm not the one saying it. They said it. This is what I've done. And in the meantime, I use my social media for credibility and visibility. So that's how it helped me, because once I have this thing speaking for me outside, once the client comes, they probably made a bit of research about you and seeing these things. I'm like, okay, so we won't have too much talk. We'll just go straight into it and then close the deal if we come to agreement. I don't know if that's where your question's on.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. And
Thank
how do the last sorry,
Yeah.
how do one sign up for the giveaway? Because I would love to.
Okay. So the giveaway, what would make up the entry for it will be after this session, for the period of now till today is Tuesday till tomorrow, because I think I should get on it as soon as possible. From now to tomorrow, you basically just have to tag me and tag Clever to your post, and basically just share the things that stood out for you and what you would do. Because why I'm saying this is so I can be accountable with some people, because I'd see what you said and I'd screenshot it, save it, and see if you do it. But for the sake of that, you should just tag me and Clever, basically sharing what you did. And if you opened your Clever accounts through this profile, you can tag that you did through this session. I mean, you can tag that you did that. So basically just sharing what you've learned today. So Clever can, because they sponsored this, they told me, yeah, we should talk about this. Because it was supposed to be one session, but because of them, I made it two. So that's why I'm grateful to them as well. So you can just tag them for the things, how we went today. And I'll be watching out for people, what they said, and also going through their profiles to see. And then I'd pick the people that will either win the Contra Pro optimization, that's their profile, or the Contra Pro subscription, or the cash giveaway. That's about it.
Thank you so much.
You. Okay, I think that's about. Okay, someone is raising Akimbo. Yes, I don't know Kim. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And thank you for the amazing webinar. It's really, really informative and power packed. Thank you so much. Yes, so when you were answering someone's question, you mentioned that when they are creating their project, they can tag Contra. So I just want to ask for clarity.
Yeah.
Tagging Contra, is it going to be using at Contra, or how can somebody tag Contra when you're trying to create a project? And also another question I have is what's the highest discovery score on Contra? Because currently I think I'm on 30, I have 30. So I want to know the maximum points for discovery score. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So first, when I say you should tag Contra, I mean not on your projects, but like on social media. When you upload your project to Contra, share about it on your social platforms, like a snippet of it. For example, is this still my pin post? I don't know if it's in my pin post, but I posted a project of mine that I did then, which I should have unpinned, but I posted a short form of it on X and on Instagram, but the longer form was linking to Contra. So that's the thing. So once you do that, you tag Contra to those kind of posts, because they're telling people, oh, that look at this, my project I did in the community. And once people engage on it, or once Contra sees their tag, I think maybe Contra is not so big as Upwork and Fiverr, but the teams pay special attention to everyone. They try as much as possible to go through every single person's profile and what they're doing and what they're doing. So when you tag them, they're becoming familiar on their timeline. Because I don't know how X does it, but when you start tagging them, even when you make posts and you don't tag them, it's very possible to see your post. So the tagging them is just for, I'm just saying it so you can get their attention and then do good work. So when they see something they really like, it will give you a higher chance of them featuring your project. So you get discovered by clients. So that's just a tip for Contra. And then the other question was the discovery score. The highest, I don't know what's the highest, because I know someone owned 325%. I know someone there. So that is a crazy score. But it's not very easy to get it. My aim by March is to be, if I can get to 400, if it's allowed, I will get to 400. Because you just have to, it's the more you keep on uploading projects, the more you engage in the community, you comment, you like, you post, and your services, the more you add more services, add more projects, add more client reviews, those things help to increase your score. I'm currently at 231. Was it 32? Thereabout. So aim to keep on increasing. And I know that I have 4 verified projects. Those are projects that I've gotten from Contra that I've not uploaded yet. So once I add those, I should be getting to 260, and all the reviews, I should be getting to 260, 300. So that's you. When you keep on studying these things, you know how to scale and how many points you can get. But I'm yet to see someone above 400, but I do think there will be someone like that. So I've not seen a limit to the score yet. But I don't think anyone has gone to 1,000, I'm sure. Or his contract have posted it. But for now, I don't think there's a limit. Everyone is just growing till they get to that point.
Thank you. And also, I sent a DM on Twitter, I think few weeks ago. Please, if you can. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll check it. Please send a DM again because I think it will be a lot of DM. So just send it again so I'll know you see.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think okay, someone Chigozie. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good evening, Rachel. Thank you so much for this session. It was quite impactful. And yeah, I want to talk something. So basically, you mentioned, I think someone asked question about Contra, and you asked the question about if he was a developer or something.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be sure if Contra is actually I have an account, but I say I don't know how to put it, but I'm not active there basically. So I wanted to know, I'm not really a product designer or what's it called? A frame, is it framer? Yeah, a framer. That's a website designer rather. Yeah. So I'm more into you know, what's it called? Social media designs and all that. I want to know if I wanted to know if it's also possible to get clients, in sorry?
I didn't get you. Sorry. If it's possible to
Yeah, I wanted to know whether Contra has. I know that Upwork does it. I wanted to know whether Contra also has the opportunity or the avenue to get clients for, graphic designs and all of that.
Okay, yes. So I've seen graphic designers on Contra, but the truth is there are more percentage of brand designers, product designers, no code developers on Contra. There's a wider range of clients that need those services, but there are clients that need graphic designer. The thing I would say is for you to get clients faster, you need to add more to your services. Like don't just only graphic design. As I said, it partnership and collaboration can make you earn a lot more and scale fast and incline faster because you can do more things together. So you can have a brand designer. Are you a brand designer as well?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Brand designer is a top skill on Contra as far as I'm concerned. I know 3 good designers, 2 female, 1 male that are doing really well. They just do brand design. That's their work. And they pay them well for just that. So you can, since you're a brand designer as well, you can do that. So in your brand design, your social media design is also a package of what comes in between. Clients will definitely hire you for that, I'm sure, because they prefer working someone that can do that and still get their social media together than just saying, oh, they'll hire a brand designer and then they'll hire a social media designer. So doing packaging your service together gives you more of an advantage. That's about it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Yes, I think that's all the questions. My God, I spent more time than I expected. But yeah, it was good. Thank you all. I really enjoyed it. I did. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for today. I sincerely hope that we'll do the thing. So yeah, I've made over 35K on contract and I'll make extra 30K before March because I'm sure of how to do it. And that's just why I shared today. And I have a base income of 5K monthly. Because that was when I wrote it is increasing as months pass by. And I have a good 100% client satisfaction. Because communication is top notch. Study how to communicate. I studied how to communicate. There's a guy I follow on Instagram, Vin. I'm in his newsletter. When he talks, I repeat. I talk after him. I learn it because business, you have to know how to communicate. You have to know how to convince clients. You have to make them feel, yeah, they want to buy from you or they want to buy your services, even if they didn't think they would. So communication is key. With communication, I can raise a deal from 1K to 3K or from 2K to 5K. Communication is key. So thank you all for joining. I enjoyed today. Thank you, really. As I said, to be a part of the giveaway, the Instagram link of the person I learned communication from, then I can share it. So, okay, let me just share his name. Just a minute. Okay, decided. So, thank you all. To be a part of the giveaway, basically just share what you've learned, what you do, because I really, really, really want you to achieve everything that you said you would. And tag me and Contra, and then I'll pick the people that would win all the stuff. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely day. See you next time. Bye.
So much. Bye.
Yeah.
Hello.